Hi, this is Karen McKee. In this series of tutorials, I'm going to show you how to use iMovie for the iPad to create your own science videos. In the previous video, I described in general terms how to create a science video with your iPad. In this series, I'm going to go into much greater detail about how to use the iMovie app that is available for the iPad. Okay, so let's start with how to get iMovie onto your iPad. You first want to go to the App Store and open it up and do a search for iMovie and you'll find it. Notice the requirements over here. It requires an iPad 2. It's also compatible with the iPhone 4. Then all you do is click the install button and it will download to your iPad. I've already installed it, so this button is disabled. So now let's go to my iMovie app. The icon is right here, so I'm going to tap on it and it's going to open up iMovie, and what you'll see is a window like this. And the first thing you want to do is press the plus button, and that's going to create your first project. I've already created a project here, so I'm just going to tap on it to open up this iMovie project. So now we're in iMovie and you're going to see three windows. The first window over here in the upper left is your browser window, and you see all of the clips, the footage that I have uploaded to my iPad. You'll also pick any photos and music from this browser window as well, but I'll get to that in a moment. The window to the right here is your viewer window, which is where you're going to view your footage as you're creating your project. And the lower window is the project timeline, and this is where you're going to be dropping your video clips. Now, I've already loaded a clip into the timeline here, and to play it, all you have to do is touch the play button and the video clip will play, and you can see how it looks in the viewer window. So let's load another clip. The first thing you do is look at the clip that you're thinking about loading, and you can actually preview it by pressing, well, it loaded it anyway. Let's load another one. If you want to preview the clip before you load it, you press your finger down onto the clip in the browser window, and you can scrub back and forth across your clip and view it in the viewer window. Then when you want to add it to your project timeline, you just click on the blue button that you see here and it automatically drops it down into your timeline. Now, where this playhead is, this pink line, you want to be cognizant of where that is when you're adding your clips or photos, because that's where they're going to be added. Wherever that timeline is sitting, that's where your clip will go. So let's add a few clips in here. Okay, so now we've got a number of clips in our timeline, and what I'm doing is I'm just swiping my finger back and forth along the bottom of each of the clips to move them back and forth. Now you can't see my finger doing this because I'm just doing a screen capture so that you can see the iMovie windows clearly. But that's all you do is just swipe back and forth. Now if you want to jump to the beginning or the end of your project timeline, you just tap and press your finger at the left side of the timeline, and the project will automatically jump to the beginning of your project. The same thing if you tap and touch on the right hand side of the project. The playhead will automatically jump to the end of your project. Okay, let's look at manipulating some of these clips. First off, if there's a clip that you don't like and you'd like to remove it, all you have to do is press down on it with your finger until it compresses, and you see this one is compressed. And as you move it out of the timeline, you'll notice that there is a cloud up at the corner of the compressed clip, and when I release my finger, it's going to disappear. And I can put it back in the same way, and it drops back in. You can also move clips the same way by pressing on the clip with your finger until it's compressed, and then move it wherever you'd like, and just release it, and it drops it to that position in the timeline. Okay, let's say that you would like to trim a clip. You want to shorten it, for example, or cut out a section of it. You just touch the clip with your finger until you see a yellow outline around it, and you'll also notice that there are these little handles at the end of the clip. What you want to do is touch whichever handle at the end of the clip that you want to trim and move the edge in until you're at the point that you want to trim the clip to, and then release, and that will trim your clip to that point. I'll do the other end just so you'll see what I'm doing. So I'm moving the end of the clip and releasing, and now it's trimmed. Now it's trimmed to a smaller section of the original footage. If you want to split a clip, that is also very easy. You place the playhead at the spot in the clip that you would like, where you would like the clip to be split, and then you tap the clip so that it is outlined in yellow, and then you swipe your finger across the clip down the playhead, and the clip will split at that point. And then if there's a section of that clip that you don't want, for example the latter half of it, you can compress it and pull it out of the timeline, and it's gone. Okay, next you might want to add photos to your movie, and here you want to go to your photo browser, which is located here. This button will open up your photos, and here I'm going to open up my photo library, and you can see all the photos that I have loaded onto my iPad, and I can pick one of those photos to add to the timeline, and all I did was just tap on it and that dropped in. I can add another photo. Let's see, what's a good one? There's a good one. And there is a photo. Now iMovie automatically adds a Ken Burns effect to still photos This is a motion that is added to still images that makes them a bit more interesting because the image moves slightly. You can also use the Ken Burns effect to focus in on a particular section of your photo, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. The first thing you do is touch the clip in the timeline to outline it, and you'll notice up here in the viewer window it says drag to position, pinch to zoom. What you can do is with your fingers use the pinch zoom movement to increase or decrease the size of your photo. You can also pull it back and forth to reposition it. And so let's say you want to start at that position at the beginning of the clip, and then at the end, let's say you want to zoom in on a particular feature, then that's what you're going to end up with. So if we play it, you'll see that it's going to zoom in on the head of that caterpillar. And you can do that with all of your still images. And that's it for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, in which I talk more about manipulating visuals, adding photos, themes, and titles.